Bill Pechet's gallery is the great outdoors. In the city, he designs his work to stand out amid the urban chaos. He wants people to see it, enjoy it, commingle with it.
Working on behalf of the public is, really where I want to spend my time. The city and its layers are just calling to me all the time.
His pieces are thoughtful, playful, and unexpected, like this one in Winnipeg.
It's a fountain that uses fog and a rain curtain.
Or the lights on Granville Street. Or the massive light work that honors endangered elm trees.
The work is made up of elm leaves, and so the leaf pattern produces shadows and negotiates how sunlight comes through it. If you were to look right up into the dome, it creates a perfect mandala.
It all starts here, in his Vancouver studio. Ideas come with pen in hand.
There's a one-to-one relationship between my brain and what my hand does. Sometimes I do not think of anything until I start drawing. I love coming here. It's sort of a repository of my stuff from the last 30 years.
It's a laboratory full of plans and prototypes, some not built, like this stainless steel windmill, or the cantilevered maple tree seed pod benches.
I didn't do that well in structures class at university because I always wanted things to cantilever, to levitate. And so I'm still working through that process.
He has a thing for honey bears and maybe a long-term bucket list plan.
This honey bear, which I cast out of resin, put a light in it. Suddenly it becomes almost like a votive or sacred sculpture. Someday, if I know I'm going to die, I plan to liquidate all my assets and pour as big of a golden honey bear as I can. And I'm kind of imagining me on the deathbed with my apartment empty, and all that's left is this golden honey bear. That kind of thing could persist for hundreds of years. It could be stolen by thieves. It could become a collection of a museum.
He's also got a thing for birds' feet.
I don't really know why I'm obsessed with birds' feet, but I have tended to use the bird's foot at times in some of the work. And I just love watching people's reactions when they look down and they say, oh, there's a bird's foot. This one? Yeah. This is a doorstop.
He sold about 200 of these sandboxes to people all over North America.
It gave them an opportunity to play, to create gardens or environments that could just be erased at any given point.
Some of his works are small but serious, like these spirit houses.
They were made as a memorial for people who lose infants, either pre-birth or post-birth. In a way, I think what they do is they make an ideal little piece of heaven for their lost one.
He's brought imagination and a sense of grace to his work with cemeteries.
The Woods Columbaria is an enclave of people's ashes, and I wanted to create a space that felt simultaneously very sacred, very protected, but also subject to the passage of time. The site is slowly being cloaked in a layer of moss, and the little rain pools collect rainwater. Water pools also let you look up at the sky and sort of see a little piece of heaven. The roofs are somewhat anti-gravitational. There are lots of cantilevers, and the idea was to give a sense of both the kind of finality of death, but also the uplift of angels' wings.
His biggest job so far is North Vancouver's Pier project.
And our job was to come up with a suite of furniture, lighting, and a few public art pieces. So this bench that I'm sitting on right now is called the Pier bench, and the folded metal back was designed to make a reference to the shipbuilding industry's technique of folding metal. It also lets you still watch the process of shipbuilding and repair that you can see on this side. This pier takes us 700 feet out into the middle of the Burrard Inlet, and it affords us a kind of a mirror image view of Vancouver. In the shipyards, if they needed a trash can, they just made one from scratch. They didn't go out and buy one. We took our trash cans, turned them upside down, and then wired them up, and now they're these big can lights that shine over the road. This site was the original entry for workers into the shipyard's precinct. to celebrate that, we constructed this file drawer called the Extra Long Files. And what it is a set of employee cards that depicts the people that worked in the shipyard over many decades. This stage covering was inspired by looking at construction drawings of ship hulls, where you would see a kind of a rib system that would be curving in a certain way that was, designed for flotation. Yeah, I've really never seen my life as anything other than a kind of play environment. I have always resisted some notion of achieving something called adulthood. I didn't ever think I'd be still playing at the age of 61, but it's like breathing to me.